If Robin Williams was the undisputed king of lightning-fast improvisation, then Jim Carrey is a comedic genius who has stretched the limits of his physicality, voice, and sheer talent to redefine what it means to be a comedic performer. Robin Williams' ability to instantly invent characters and deliver rapid-fire humor became legendary, making him one of the most beloved comedians of his time. He was known for his versatility and could effortlessly switch between whimsical impersonations and moments of profound introspection. Jim Carrey, in contrast, is an actor who, through his masterful control of physicality and vocal range, has created a unique brand of humor that blends slapstick, surrealism, and emotional depth. But what happens when these two comedic titans, two volcanic eruptions of talent, collide in a single electrifying moment? When Williams' frenetic energy meets Carrey's over-the-top physical humor, the result is a chaotic, yet mesmerizing, combination of artistry and raw emotion. Their collaboration and rivalry has sparked some of the most memorable and hilarious moments in Hollywood, from iconic sketches on talk shows to unforgettable films like Mrs. Doubtfire, 1993, and Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, 1994. Watch closely because what follows is a moment where two forces of nature, one inimitable and the other uncontainable, come together in the most explosive way. And yes, this all leads up to witnessing the most painful Hollywood slap ever caught on camera, a slap that will have you questioning whether comedy can truly transcend physical pain. Jim Carrey, known for his sharp wit and unpredictable performances, takes the stage, a grin slowly spreading across his face. His eyes scan the room, gauging the crowd's reaction as he says, "You know this, right? It's strange. Normally, comedians are treated like, well, very special creatures." The room erupts in laughter as Jim continues, "Thank you so much. You let us sit at the adults' table, gave us the honor of being nominated, and even created a category just for us." Comedy along with dancing. Jim's comedic timing is impeccable as he pauses to let the absurdity sink in. But there were so many dancers tonight who could have been up here too, but they didn't make the cut. The audience, once again, roars with laughter at the irony of it all. Jim isn't finished, though. He leans in with a grin, adding, "I'd also like to thank the Hollywood foreign press for the fantastic Star Trek, the musical set. A set that could only have been crafted by people with an appreciation for drama and perhaps a love for strange musicals." His jokes are delivered with such a refreshing sincerity that it almost feels like he's breaking the fourth wall, acknowledging the bizarre world he's in while still pulling everyone into the absurdity of the moment. This combination of self-aware humor and playful defiance is what made Carrey one of the most bankable comedians of the 1990s. Yet beneath the slapstick humor and impressions, there's a vulnerability in Jim's delivery that speaks volumes about his own life. His career wasn't handed to him. It was forged through hardship and relentless ambition. Jim Carrey's early life was filled with personal challenges, a fact not widely known by the general public. Born in Newmarket, Ontario in 1962, Jim faced financial struggles and a turbulent home life. His father, Percy Carrey, was a musician who struggled to find steady work, and his mother, Kathleen, battled with illness. Jim's early years were marked by a sense of isolation and frustration. His family often lived in poverty, and Jim's mother was hospitalized in the early 1970s, leaving a lasting emotional scar on the young boy. Jim reflects on this period with a touch of gravity as he says, "My childhood was a storm of tragedy," his voice almost unrecognizable as he taps into a deeper, more serious tone. "My father was absent, and my mother was placed in an asylum when I was just 14. The weight of these words fills the air, and it becomes clear that Jim's humor wasn't just a shield, it was his survival mechanism. It's a hard story to tell. And I apologize for that," he adds, a note of sincerity in his voice that contrasts sharply with his usual comedic bravado. In this moment, we see a glimpse of the true man behind the exaggerated performances, a man who had to fight through his own darkness to shine as brightly as he does today. But what happens next is nothing short of a masterclass in comedy. As Jim Carrey taps into the essence of Robin Williams, we don't just witness an impression, we see a true channeling of Robin's spirit. Carrey doesn't just imitate Williams' voice, he embodies the very soul of the man, his warmth, his whimsy, and his deep, almost painfully relatable humanity. Robin Williams was known for his ability to weave humor into even the darkest moments, often providing light in places others couldn't reach. Jim Carrey taps into that very spirit, offering a vulnerable portrayal of Robin that hits deep, resonating with an authenticity that few performers can match. The two comedic forces, Williams' unparalleled improvisational genius and Carrey's masterful physicality, are brought to life in this moment. It's a convergence of two unique approaches to comedy, each one beautifully layered with the other's influence. In that space between laughter and heartbreak, Jim Carrey finds a way to honor Robin Williams while still staying true to his own distinct voice. It's a fusion of humor and tragedy, a reminder that the line between the two is often thinner than we realize. And in that rare, emotional moment, Carrey does not just impersonate Robin, he becomes him, tapping into the very essence of Robin's soul. This is Jim Carrey at his best, an actor and comedian who doesn't just entertain, but also provides a deeper look into the vulnerability and pain that often fuel comedy. Jim's journey from a troubled youth to one of the most iconic comedians of his generation is a testament to the power of laughter. As he continues to evolve, both as an actor and a person, Carrey's ability to tap into the human experience, the joy, the sorrow, the absurdity, remains unparalleled in the world of comedy. The laughter that follows isn't just about jokes or impressions, it's a release, a catharsis that speaks to the heart of what it means to be human. And as the scene unfolds, we are reminded that, in the world of comedy, some moments transcend performance, they become something much more profound. Robin Williams in this instance looked like a glamorous version of RuPaul, complete with orthopedic shoes and an unexplainable charm. Jim Carrey, ever the master of impressions, expertly mimics his mannerisms, each movement, each expression, perfectly capturing the essence of Robin. With a sly grin, he says, "Ah, take me out of here," before pausing dramatically and adding, "Whoops, better get back to that." It's a moment of playful absurdity, where Carrey doesn't just imitate Williams. He channels the underlying essence of Robin's uninhibited energy, turning it into something uniquely his own. Then, without missing a beat, Jim transitions into an impression of Irving Thalberg, capturing the essence of the man, his lofty ideals, yes, but also his eccentricity. Carrey continues in character, quipping, "Yes, indeed. This spring, Irving will be stepping out in his pink kappa ensemble, saying, 'Excuse me, I'll take the key. If you can't appreciate that well, I'm sorry.'" The combination of wit, flamboyance, and theatrical flair is all Carrey. He takes the character beyond just an impression, transforming him into a full-fledged comedic spectacle. While Robin Williams often used intelligence and sharp wit to carve out his humor, Jim Carrey, in contrast, wrapped that same intelligence in a dramatic, almost theatrical exterior. Robin's comedy was like a lightning strike, unexpected, brilliant, and intense, yet deeply rooted in the complexity of human emotion. Jim, however, brought a completely different energy to the table. He combined physicality with sharp humor, creating a perfect fusion of mind and body. Carrey didn't simply tell jokes, he performed them, each delivery a dynamic living entity. This perfect chaos of body and voice was what set him apart in Hollywood. "Bill Connie, you tell him, sister," Jim exclaims with his trademark flourish. "Damn, that's good." The words come to life in a whirlwind of movement, each syllable punctuated with exaggerated expressions and gestures that only Carrey can deliver. Jim's comedic energy shifts quickly, diving into a fresh impression of Whoopi Goldberg. "Hey Whoopi, I'm white and I'm ready for you," Carrey jokes, drawing laughter as he challenges an old stereotype with his trademark irreverence. He then turns up the intensity, snapping, "Who said we can't jump, huh?" But in a perfect moment of unpredictability, Jim's energy takes a sharp turn and he confronts the audience with sudden ferocity. "Whoopi, why don't you just shut up for a second? Why don't you just, for once in your life, shut up?" This sudden shift is what makes Carrey's comedy so captivating. He can flip from playful to intense in the blink of an eye, constantly keeping his audience on their toes. In another instant, Jim Carrey transitions from brash humor to an exploration of pain, a concept that has always been at the heart of great comedy. His rendition of intense agony mixed with bizarre pleasure is both funny and deeply uncomfortable. He captures the essence of that duality in his performance, delivering lines with an intensity that cuts through the air. When Jim imitates Robin's voice, it's as if two comedic titans have collided, erupting into an unforgettable moment. The clash of these two comedic styles, the raw vulnerability of Robin and the explosive, exaggerated physicality of Jim, creates a rare and unique harmony. Carrey doesn't just perform an impression, he merges his or with Robin's soul, and the result is something entirely new. "It's a rare moment," he says, as if to warn the audience of what's coming. "The world has never seen anything like it before, and indeed, what follows is nothing short of groundbreaking." And then, just when you think you've seen it all, Jim Carrey shifts gears into a wild and outrageously funny portrayal of Puerto Rican culture. He begins with an exaggerated exclamation, "Oh, great goddess of Puerto Rico, let the rivers of joy flood through me. Feel the madness of it all. Get some of this, you silly thing." His ability to take something as specific as Puerto Rican cultural expression and transform it into something universally hilarious is testament to his comedic range. The audience roars with laughter, not because of any inherent political statement, but because Jim has the rare ability to take cultural touchstones and exaggerate them to absurdity while still maintaining respect for their root cause. With lightning speed, Carrey transitions once again, this time capturing Roberto Benigni's infectious, chaotic energy from the Oscars. Jim mimics Benigni's exuberant jumping on chairs as if it were his own personal moment of celebration, making it clear that no impression is too extreme for Carrey's range. "You really think voting for myself would change the outcome?" "No," Jim quips in Benigni's voice before sliding into a more serious tone. "But you do need to get out there and talk to people." Be a presence. Carrey's ability to weave sharp, insightful commentary into the humor makes him more than just a mimic. It elevates his work into something profoundly layered and often thought-provoking. Even his wildest impressions carry meaning, an added depth that forces the audience to think about the absurdity of celebrity culture, politics, and self-importance. Through these series of impressions, Jim Carrey showcases his genius, not just in how he imitates others, but in how he makes them his own. His physicality is unrivaled, his timing is impeccable, and the layers he adds to each character show the true depth of his talent. Whether he's capturing the rapid-fire genius of Robin Williams, the high-strung eccentricity of Irving Thalberg, or the chaotic joy of Roberto Benigni, Jim Carrey is a master at turning humor into a form of art. Each impression isn't just a mimicry, it's a full-bodied, deeply expressive performance, where the boundaries between the character and Jim himself become wonderfully blurred. But as the energy shifts, Jim Carrey unexpectedly pivots to something far more introspective, offering a playful yet profound comment on the unpredictability of life. "Honestly, who cares?" he says, with a wry smile before diving into an unexpected metaphor. "I've been bitten by a river rat, he's jumped into my ocean, and that's all there is to it." It's a simple yet deeply layered observation, a reminder that life's absurdities often have no grand meaning, they just are. The metaphor of a rat leaping into the ocean captures the chaos and randomness of existence, with Carrey's delivery making it simultaneously laugh-out-loud funny and existentially deep. Jim Carrey's comedic genius has always been influenced by those who came before him, and perhaps no one looms larger over his performances than Jerry Lewis. The legendary comedian's influence can be felt in Jim's wild, manic energy and his ability to fuse respect with humor. With a sparkle in his eyes, Jim channels Jerry Lewis with uncanny precision, remarking, "Watch how he balances respect with humor." The audience is instantly transported into the world of classic slapstick as Jim begins his imitation, his face contorting in the signature style of Jerry. "Who are you? Are you here?" "Yes, he is. You're the one my mother talked about." The crowd erupts with laughter as Jim's homage to Jerry brings a wave of nostalgia, while also showing how Carrey has taken the torch and made it his own. It's a tribute to the greats, filtered through Carrey's unique lens. From there, Jim seamlessly transitions into an impersonation of Tom Hanks, drawing from his famous line, "Let us take 3 roles, man." With the smirk and relaxed cadence of Hanks, Jim dives into an exaggerated rant about the absurdities of political and social issues. First, they blame welfare programs, then they go after Murphy Brown. It's a mess. Next thing, they're saying Lincoln was all wrong. With this absurd rant, Carrey captures the ongoing, sometimes nonsensical nature of societal discourse, turning it into a comedic circus that makes you laugh while also subtly commenting on the madness of it all. Then, in a perfect example of how Carrey blends humor with a strange depth, he takes aim at Matthew McConaughey's calm, philosophical demeanor in the Lincoln car commercials. Carrey pulls out the full range of his wit, turning the relaxed McConaughey persona into something completely bizarre and unexpectedly profound. Is there a secret to doing this? Carrey muses, mimicking McConaughey's drawl. "Oh no, Dave, it's really simple. You just have to let go of the illusion that you exist." With this, Carrey goes deeper, peeling back the layers of absurdity until he takes it to a place only he can go. "I just drive around in my Lincoln, rolling with this booger. It makes me feel safe. It's not even a booger anymore, it's something more. Ooh-ha." The bizarre transformation of something as mundane as a booger into a philosophical statement is pure Carrey genius, a hilarious commentary on how we sometimes find comfort in the strangest places. In the blink of an eye, Jim Carrey shifts gears again, effortlessly transforming into the Grinch with a chilling precision. "I must find a way to stop Christmas from coming," he says, his voice dripping with malice. The menacing tone catches the audience off guard, and they watch in awe as his eyes light up with mischievous intensity. "I will," he growls, his voice sinking into a low, ominous register. With a sudden burst of joy, he erupts into a manic, "Yes, yes, yes." The transformation is so seamless that you can almost see the Grinch's heart grow 2 sizes in real time. The audience is captivated, hanging on to every word, as Jim Carrey captures the essence of the beloved character with a level of precision and energy that only he can deliver. And then, in a move that no one could have predicted, Jim takes a simple story about a dog bite and spins it into a wildly funny and absurd tale. "Ladies and gentlemen, 30 years ago today, I was attacked by a dog, Jim says with a dramatic flourish, launching into the narrative. I was standing on the street, screaming, trying to get this vicious dog off my leg. The image is ridiculous, and Jim's performance heightens the absurdity, taking us deep into his experience. He continues, recounting the confused bystanders who witnessed the spectacle. These old Irish guys were just standing there, saying, "Oh, dear God, they're performing porn on the stage." The ridiculousness of the situation is matched only by Carrey's delivery, turning what could have been a simple anecdote into an unforgettable comedic masterpiece. The blend of physical comedy and storytelling is quintessential Carrey, finding humor in the chaos and making us laugh at life's most unpredictable moments. With each transformation and each impression, Jim Carrey proves that he is not just a mimic, but a master of creating entire worlds out of nothing. His ability to blend absurdity with insight and humor with humanity makes him one of the most unique comedic forces in Hollywood history. Through his impressions of legends like Jerry Lewis, Tom Hanks, and even Matthew McConaughey, he's not just channeling their voices, he's giving them new life, adding layers of his own. And in moments like his portrayal of the Grinch or his dog bite story, he shows us that the greatest humor often comes from the most unexpected places. Jim Carrey is a comedic genius who has taken the art of performance to new heights, turning every impression into a tour de force of energy, emotion, and sheer ridiculousness. Jim Carrey's ability to fully dive into any impression he tackles is nothing short of mesmerizing. As he continues to push the limits of his craft, he delivers every line with a commitment that leaves the audience in stitches. They never talk about his, for an hour, he jokes with a glint in his eye. My is so hot. Every word becomes a punchline, a performance in itself. The sheer absurdity of the line, paired with Jim's impeccable timing, transforms it into pure comedy gold, illustrating just how effortlessly he can take any character or situation and make it entirely his own. In one of his more outrageous moments, Jim turns his attention to Conan O'Brien, offering a brutal yet hilarious jab. "No one likes you, Conan, no one likes you, and you're going to die alone." The sharpness of his delivery is unfiltered, there's no holding back. It's a raw, chaotic moment that feels completely in tune with Jim's comedic style. This is Carrey at his finest, fearless and unapologetic, delivering humor that's not just funny, but completely unpredictable. His ability to tap into these moments of brutal honesty while making them laugh out loud funny is a testament to his unparalleled skill. With a seamless transition, Jim shifts gears into another hilarious impression, this time of Donald Trump. His timing is impeccable as he exaggerates the former president's infamous persona. It's like the Wizard of Oz, Jim declares, adopting Trump's trademark boastful cadence. He's the man behind the curtain, playing Monopoly with real buildings, a scary man. The audience erupts in laughter at this spot-on description of Trump's larger-than-life public image. But Jim doesn't stop there. He digs deeper into the absurdity of the former president's media presence. Miss America, Miss Universe. Doesn't that sound a bit lick? Michael Vick owning a series of pet stores. It's a biting yet hilarious critique, showcasing Carrey's fearless approach to satire. He isn't just doing an impression, he's commenting on the ridiculousness of Trump's persona in a way that's both humorous and insightful. But Jim doesn't just stop at political satire. He brings it full circle, reminding the audience that his comedic brilliance was honed long before his rise to fame. In a remarkable throwback to one of his early performances, Jim takes on Henry Fonda, channeling the quiet, powerful delivery that made Fonda a legend. "You want me to pick strawberries?" Jim asks, embodying Fonda's distinct style. The transformation is so fluid that it almost feels like stepping into a time machine, back to a moment when Carrey's comedic chops were just beginning to take shape. It's a nod to his dedication and passion for the craft, and a reminder that his brilliance didn't happen overnight. It was built on years of careful study and performance. As the segment draws to a close, Jim Carrey takes one final opportunity to remind his audience of the delightful absurdity of life. "You pay a lot of money here, but this is what happens when you knock on doors after a few beers in Stratford," he jokes, bringing the crowd back to the chaos of everyday life. With a wink, he adds, "I wrote that, it's mine." His self-awareness and ability to poke fun at the very nature of performance only add to his charm, showing that he never takes himself too seriously. In his final remarks, he encourages the audience to embrace the weirdness of life. "Embrace the craziness," he urges. "Learn from every experience, no matter how bizarre." It's a fitting end to a performance that has been nothing short of a roller coaster ride through the absurdity of life, politics, and comedy itself. Through these varied impressions and absurd moments, Jim Carrey proves that his comedic range is as wide as it is deep. Whether he's taking on political figures, historical icons, or simply making light of life's oddities, Jim's performances are a reminder that humor can be both a form of escape and a tool for reflection. Every impression, every moment is a piece of his comedic genius, crafted with precision, delivered with heart, and above all, completely unapologetic in its absurdity.